So, what if I told you that your good intentions are completely worthless? Today, we're diving deep into a core strategic principle. Results are the only thing that actually matter. We're going to explore why, in any situation with real stakes, what you meant to do is totally irrelevant compared to what you actually achieved.
And just a quick heads up, this explainer is brought to you by the Other Way Marshall Consulting. They are experts in mastering the very principles we're about to unpack today. You know, things like managing force and de-escalating conflict for real.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You try to be nice, and someone takes it as weakness. You crack a joke to lighten the mood, and it just tanks, completely backfires, and kills the trust in the room. That gap, that canyon between our intent and the actual result is exactly where strategy falls apart. Today, we're going to learn how to close that gap for good. So what's the fix? Well, it takes a huge shift in how we see things. We have to stop grading ourselves on our intentions and start looking at our actions based on their real-world measurable outcomes. This is the new paradigm, a truly results-oriented focus.
This approach really does demand discipline. It means you have to strip away that cozy emotional cushion of, well, I meant well, and just face the cold, hard facts of what happened. We're shifting from just hoping for a good result to actively engineering one.
This image just perfectly nails the disconnect. Your intent, right, was to de-escalate with polite language, but the result was violence. Why? Because your submissive posture was read as an invitation to attack. When you're faced with that kind of physical outcome, your good intentions are completely meaningless. The tactic failed, full stop. And here's the thing you gotta get. Objective reality is binary. The laws of physics, gravity, leverage, velocity, they don't care about your feelings. They don't care one bit if you meant well. They just respond to inputs with predictable outputs every single time. Man, this line says it all. In situations where your safety is actually on the line, you get 0 points for trying. Looking brave but ending up hurt is a failure. Looking cowardly but getting away safe? That's a success. The result is the only metric that counts. Now this brings us to one of the biggest mental traps out there. The whole idea of trying. We love to give ourselves credit for the effort, right? But valuing effort over the outcome is just a recipe for repeated failure. Let's look at this classic workplace mess. The manager's intent? Keep the peace. Their action? Use soft language to try and set a boundary. Their judgment of success was based entirely on a feeling, hey, I was nice. But what was the actual result? The boundary got completely blown past. They succeeded at being nice, sure, but they failed completely at their real objective, which was to hold that boundary. So how do you actually get good at this? It's not just some theory, it's a skill you can train. The Other Way Marshall Consulting actually offers a mentorship program designed specifically to teach you how to engineer the results you want. It's a serious program, 10 weeks of virtual training, and then it's capped off with two 2-hour days of hands-on practice with an experienced instructor. If you're really serious about closing this gap between your intent and your result, the link is right there in the description.
And hey, real quick, if this breakdown is helping you think a little more strategically, do me a favor and help fuel the channel. Just take a second to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Your engagement really does help us make more explainers just like this one.
Okay, so let's take this idea a step further. It's not just about getting the specific result you want. It's about taking ownership, total ownership of the entire chain of events your actions kick off, even the parts you might call unintended.
I didn't mean to. You've heard it a million times, right? This phrase, it's the anthem of the unskilled. It's basically a plea to be judged on your invisible thoughts instead of your very visible, often destructive actions. A real strategist can't afford to disown their outcomes.
This analogy is just perfect. If you create a threatening situation, if you're the one who loads the spring by posturing aggressively, you're getting in someone's face, you are absolutely responsible for the recoil when it snaps back, even if the other person throws the first punch. You built the shape of violence, you own that result.
Amateurs are constantly surprised by unintended consequences. A strategist isn't. A strategist understands that every single action creates ripples, and their job is to calculate those ripples way ahead of time. It's exactly like dropping a rock in a pond. The amateur sees that first splash and thinks, okay, done. They're totally shocked when the ripples eventually hit the shore. But a strategist? They know those ripples are a guarantee. They're calculating the second, the third, even the sixth ripple before they ever let go of that rock.
And all of this brings us to the most challenging and honestly the most powerful conclusion of this entire philosophy. This is the principle that really unlocks true strategic maturity.
Your result is your intent. Just let that sink in for a second. The actual outcome of your actions reveals your true functional intent, no matter what story you're telling yourself about what you were trying to do.
So how do you apply this? You have to audit your life like a detective. Look at the data, the results you get over and over again. If you constantly find yourself in arguments or conflicts, you have to accept that you are somehow engineering that outcome, maybe by signaling aggression when you think you're just being assertive. Your results are the only data that matters. They do not lie.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds kind of cold, right? Maybe a little unfeeling or robotic. It seems like it's taking all the morality and feeling out of the equation. But is that really what's happening here?
The truth is, this mindset is clinically precise, and that precision is actually the most compassionate approach you can take. And why is that? Because it's the only framework that reliably prevents harm. Wishing for safety doesn't create safety. Engineering safety does.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Take a hard look at your life, your career, your relationships. Forget what you hope for, forget what you try to do, and ask yourself this: what results are your actions right now actually engineering?
From all of us at The Other Way Marshall Consulting, thank you so much for watching.